Okay, real talk. When's the last time you actually got away? Like, really got away? Packed a bag, turned off the alarm, and woke up somewhere where it wasn't your own bed? If you're like most of us in Southern California, the answer is probably not recently enough and certainly probably not often enough. And I get it. Life is busy. Things happen. But here's the thing paradise is literally within driving distance for us. We're sitting on some of the most incredible vacation real estate in the entire country and probably even in the world, the Pacific coast to the west, the desert to the east, the mountains in between. And most of us are spending our weekends doing laundry or working. Well, not anymore, not after today. My guest has rented out slice of heaven vacation homes to thousands of families across Southern California. He built one incredible company, sold it, and then because he loves doing it so much, he came back and he's doing it again. His new venture is called Sunny Days Vacation Rentals, and the name pretty much says it all. So, whether you're dreaming of salty ocean or the Ventura Coast or a pool in Palm Springs with a cocktail and zero obligations, he knows exactly where you should go, how to do it, what to book, and how to make sure your getaway is everything you imagined. Welcome to SoCal with Val. I'm Valerie Van De Zilver, and today we are so fortunate to have with us Jeff Bosson from Sunny Days Vacation Homes. Jeff, welcome.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me in. It's good to see
We're
you again and talk to you.
yes, nice to see you too.
We are
Jeff,
we go back a ways.
we do. Yes, actually, we do. We went back to city council meetings and
Absolutely. A lot of
making
city
things.
council meetings in Newport
Yes,
Beach
yes,
fighting
yes.
the
Making sure that
anti-vacation
our
rental
owners
rules.
still have the opportunity to operate vacation rental homes. And
Absolutely.
and Jeff,
Very
you
important.
certainly yep, you were very instrumental in that and did a great job, and were quite an advocate for the owners in some of those cities that we both operated in, and they appreciate you, and I know I do too.
Thank you so much. And vice versa. We worked hard and I think we got some fair regulations in Newport Beach and not everywhere got the same, great regulations. There's some not great ones in Palm Springs, but we're always keeping our eyes out and fighting the good fight for vacation rental owners.
We are, and I don't wanna take time away from you and your company today, but I do wanna say that definitely who manages vacation homes or who owns them, it makes all the difference in the world because I know in the city where I am, I have 5 vacation rentals around me, and you know where that is, and it only takes one person on our street to spoil it for everybody. And
Absolutely.
and some of us, like you and I, campaign so much for really tough regulations and enforcement, so we could continue operating. So some people think they're too tough, but for me, if we get to continue to operate, that's good enough.
That's right. Yeah. Nobody, both sides, nobody wants the bad actors, the people who don't pay attention to their unit. We all want good, productive, short term vacation rental homes that don't disturb the neighborhood, don't disturb the neighbors, and the homes themselves keep the neighborhood looking good. So
Absolutely, and it provides a great experience for the guests.
absolutely, that's
Absolutely,
the
that's what we
key.
want.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, welcome to SoCal with Val. Let's start out by telling us a little about yourself. How does someone end up making a career of vacation rentals?
Oh man, by luck mostly. No, I grew up in the insurance industry, so 10 years selling insurance for the Hartford, and
I
I was
didn't
in
know.
yeah, I was in San Diego, and my friend Jonah and my brother Brian both lived down there, and Jonah started the original Seabreeze Vacation Rentals, and I would help talk to him on the here and there, and he would tell me what he was doing, and then my job brought me up to Orange County, and so in
Yes, it did.
2009 he had about 60 properties he was managing as Seabreeze down in San Diego,
It's
and
true, yeah.
Brian and I both were living here in Orange County. We said, hey, you should expand up to Orange County. And he said, I've got my hands full with these 60 in San Diego, but if you guys want to partner, then you feel free to expand and let's figure it out. And that really bore
Really?
Seabreeze. I started out as a part-time thing, to supplement, or not to supplement, just as seeing if we could make it work. And I was still working insurance. And 2014, I had to make a decision. Is this a real company that I can leave insurance for and do full time? And it was. I did, and we built that up from nothing to 420 properties that we managed between Malibu down to the border, all coastal, with the addition of Temecula. So Temecula was a one-off. My uncle had a house there, and he said, "Hey, do you want to manage our house in Temecula?" I said, "Sure, but I don't
Sure.
know who's
Of
going
course, it's
to
always the answer is
Temecula."
sure.
Yeah, I was dead wrong. So Temecula is a great destination place, and now we have 25 to 30 properties that we manage there. So yeah, that took us to 2021 in the middle of COVID, and as you know,
Oh,
Vacasa was out trying to buy everybody, and they had approached us every year,
yes,
and
that's true. I
we were,
remember that.
yeah, we were growing at such a rate that none of their conversations really made sense, and so they came back to us again in 2020, end of 2020, beginning of 2021, and said, we're working on different numbers now. Let's sit down and talk. And they were. And so we got, an offer we couldn't refuse at the time. And we sold to Vacasa. So that was Seabreeze. We sold 420 units to them, Newport Beach, Dana Point,
Yes.
Oceanside, everywhere.
San Clemente.
San Clemente.
You're big in San Clemente, weren't you?
We were. That was our first expansion point from once we left San Diego. Yeah. So big in San Clemente, a lot of municipality fights there as well.
Yes.
Then, I went to work with Vacasa. I wanted to make sure it was the best transition that has ever happened and take care of all of my owners, which I did. So I worked there for a year, right up until they went public. And when they went public, that's when everything that we would do as Seabreeze, because they were still running Seabreeze like we had built it, which was kind of the agreement when we sold to them. We're going to keep all of the owners the same. Right when they went public, now the board is making decisions, and it was a lot of, well, that's not how Vacasa does it. That's not how we do it. And I just watched all of the good protocols, everything that we had built, kind of turned on its head to a corporate model. And I had to leave, and I certainly called all my owners, told them, I'm so sorry. This is not how I wanted this to go for you. Some of them stayed with Vacasa and some of them left. So I semi-retired for a year, and my brother and I and Jonah, we all ran Seabreeze together. He moved to Texas, and about a year later, he called me and said, I know what we're going to do next. Vacation rentals again. I said,
and this was Jonah did this.
This was Brian.
Brian, your brother.
My brother, Brian. Yep. He runs all of the operations.
He was in Southern California still?
He was in Southern California. And after we sold Seabreeze, he moved to Texas. And so then he called and said, let's do it again. You're still in Southern California. You run the sales team just like you did at Seabreeze. I'll run all of the operations, although I'll do it more efficiently and cost effectively because we're going to run it from Texas rather than La Jolla. And that's how we started Sunny Days. And so we called all of our Seabreeze managers, the revenue management team, the owner services team, the guest services managers, and everybody was very happy to jump back in and start the new company and really do it over again. And so we had a non-compete in Orange County and San Diego County. So we started in Palm Springs.
That's your connection, Palm Springs.
Yeah. So we started in Palm Springs, Temecula, and then added Ventura and Santa Barbara. And so come to 2025, and we had 130 properties between those three areas. And end of 2025, our non-compete ends. And so now here we are, April 1st, 2026. We're back in Orange County with about 10 properties. We're back in San Diego with another 15 properties. And we got approached by San Diego Vacation Rentals, and it was about time for them to exit. So they wanted to know if we were interested. we sat down and we made a deal that made sense. So now we are sunny days everywhere but San Diego. And in San Diego, we are San Diego Vacation Rentals.
Oh, you are.
We are, yeah. So that
Fascinating.
finished up,
Fascinating.
yeah.
Well, Sunny Days is one of my favorite names. I happen to have a vacation rental home in my portfolio that I call Sunny Days, but it's DAZE.
Sure.
And it's one of my favorite properties to manage. So
Yeah.
we have the name that we're both fond of.
I like it. I like it more than I like Seabreeze. Seabreeze was great, but it wasn't. We I think we hit the nail on the head with Sunny Days. It works for no matter where you are. Palm
It
Springs,
does.
coast, even skiing. You want bluebird days when you're skiing. So yeah, it's very
Yes.
nice. So
Yes.
that puts us at 200 properties now for Sunny Days and growing every day.
Well, congratulations. Great effort. And was it you at one time, and forgive me if it was someone else that also did monthly rentals? Was it you that did that for a while?
Yeah, we still do.
You do?
So all of our short-term rentals, up to the owner. If the owner does want to accept month-long rentals, then we do accept those. And some of our properties, due to regulations, they have to be month-long rentals.
Yes.
So yes, we do have a portfolio of what we call extended stay vacation rentals,
Yes.
as well as short-term vacation rentals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. So briefly, and we have a lot to talk about, but so where is Sunny Days headed? What's your goal for Sunny Days? Because now your territory is not limited, correct? You can
Not
go
limited.
anywhere.
Correct. Yep, we can go anywhere. We're going to stay Southern California coastal. That's our bread and butter. It's what we know. I do see us expanding up the coast of California into Paso Robles and further north. So we certainly know the wine country market now, being in Temecula for 10 years now. So yeah, wine country areas. We really like California. The seasonality in other places. We've ventured out to Nashville, Texas, and the seasonality just doesn't fit with our year-round model. We have our entire company. We're not selling houses. We're not in real estate. We do nothing but short-term rental management. And to do that, we really have to have year-round short-term vacation rentals. We did expand to Turks and Caicos a couple years ago.
Yes, I saw that. I saw it on your website, right? You are expanding, or you're about to, or you want to?
No, we're at 15 properties. We are
bless you.
expanded. The die is cast. Yeah. Jonah, that's another Jonah story. He loves going to Turks and Caicos and surfing, and he bought a home there. His realtor there had been managing a bunch of rentals, and she said, Jonah, this is taking up all my time. I want to sell houses. He said, great. We'll handle all of your back end.
Yeah, we want to manage vacation rentals, right?
That's right. So we handle all of the back end services, the listing the property, putting the property on all the listing sites, revenue management, reservations, guest services, owner services, everything that doesn't touch the physical house, we handle. And then she manages the actual cleaners and the inspectors and schedules them and makes sure they're doing their job. So that worked for both sides. Everybody, it was a great partnership.
Sounds perfect. Well, for those people that are sitting on the freeway right now, our viewers and our listeners, and they're dreaming of getting out for the weekend, getting away for the weekend or the summer or a week or whatever time, paint us a picture of what's waiting for them on the Ventura Coast, because many of us really aren't that familiar with it, we're sorry to say. We know the coast from LA and even Orange County south and into San Diego County, but we really aren't that familiar with Ventura. So talk to us about that first.
Yeah, Ventura is becoming a destination because of Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara was very effective in banning short-term vacation rentals outside of the coastal zone. And you and I know this story left and right from being in this fight. The Coastal Commission supports short-term rentals as a affordable way to access the coast for the masses. So they told Santa Barbara, you cannot ban vacation rentals in the coastal zone. Santa Barbara said, we have 18 total permits that we've issued. We're not issuing any more. Those 18 people can keep going. And it's been a 10-year battle back and forth with Santa Barbara and the Coastal Commission. So it's driven vacation rentals out of Santa Barbara in mass. Well, Ventura and Oxnard are sitting there saying, well, we're a lot like a northern version of Newport Beach or Mission Beach if you're from San Diego, which it is. The oh, I'm going to forget the name of the area. There's an area just down by the beach that's very much like the peninsula of
In Ventura
Newport.
area?
Yeah, yeah, Pierpont. That's what it's called. The Pierpont area of Ventura is very much like the peninsula of Newport Beach or Mission Beach if you've been there. Just rows of houses that are all either duplexes or good vacation rental type properties that really are great for small vacations, weekends away, three-day
Kind of like
vacations.
Outer Banks in North Carolina?
Sure.
Same
Yeah.
idea?
Same
Great. This
idea.
is interesting. So, yeah, talk to us about it.
It's wonderful. I mean, I think a lot of people in LA have figured that out. We've seen a ton of business of people from LA going up to Ventura, Ojai, Santa Barbara area, and they've really discovered that Ventura is an affordable beach getaway for a 3-day weekend, 4-day weekend. It has great beaches, great surf, very comparable to Orange County beaches.
And you can take the train there, can't you?
You can take the train, yeah. Yep, and you can all take it all the way to Santa Barbara and north if you want. But yeah, I can take the train up there, be there in a couple hours, or jump in the car, throw everything in my truck, and rent a place for me and my family. Either way.
So what makes it different though? How does it compare to like Malibu or Santa Barbara or some of these other places? What surprises people who go there for the first time or who are looking at it and aren't familiar with it for the first time?
Yeah, comparing it to Malibu, that's a tough one now. I drove through
Well,
there the
right
other
now
day.
it is, but
Whew, I mean, we used to have 20 houses that we managed there, and now it's just decimated. It is really unfortunate what's happened
yes,
there. So hopefully we'll be able to help get that area back up and running, and
we hope so.
Malibu will rise again.
Yes.
But Ventura, Oxnard specifically, you keep going past Malibu, you have a little stretch of gorgeous cliffside drive, and you enter right out into Oxnard. There's the farm area of Oxnard, and then there's the beach area of Oxnard, and it is gorgeous. There are homes there that are right on the beach, beachfront, toes on the sand in both Oxnard, Carpinteria, and Ventura that we're renting out for same rents that we're getting in Newport Beach, toes on the sand.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That was one of my questions was how do prices compare?
Yeah, toes on the sand is going to get the premium pricing no matter where it is, as long as there's a good white sand beach and waves. It's going to be, it's a good price. But you step back, and each area, Mission Beach, Newport Beach, and Ventura in the Pierpont area, all have the toes on the sand, and then they have those homes that are just a row back, and then you're talking about good value because you're still walking to the beach, but you're paying half the price. So those are the really good deals of getting those homes that are just off the beach, but still in that great area where you're walking to all the restaurants, walking to the bars, walking to the beach, and it really feels like a great summer vacation.
So is there a good time to visit the Ventura, we'll call it the Ventura Coast for the purpose of this discussion? When's
Yeah.
the best time to go there? Is there a secret season that locals know about that most visitors miss?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Same
well, tell
thing.
us.
Same thing you're going to find really anywhere else, but it's a little further north. So you get great September and October's. Really good. And I tell people the same thing about Newport Beach and even San Diego, even though San Diego's a little cooler. But Orange County and Ventura County, both September and October, we get that late heat wave in Southern California, and all the crowds are gone. Everybody's back to school. You want a nice, relaxing, still gorgeous weather vacation. Go in September and October to Ventura, Pierpont area and rent a house. And you're going to have great beaches, great ocean, great waves, and great weather.
And Jeff, can't you then, whether you take the train or you drive, couldn't you then take a day and go to the wine country? Because there's
Sure.
wineries, great wines in the Santa Barbara area, and in Paso, I guess, is a little bit further north.
Yeah, it's a couple hours north, but it's not Carpinteria, but forgetting the name. But just before you get to Ventura, there's a great winery area. There's several good winery areas right around there. Absolutely, there's so much to do in that area.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Any insider tips for stretching your budget would be just to be willing to come off of the beach line?
Come off the beach line and go during the shoulders of the prime season. Obviously, the 10 weeks of summer, what we talk about in
Yes.
vacation rentals, is first first week before July, all the way through mid-August. We've got about 8 to 10 weeks there that is prime booking season,
Yes.
top rates. You're going to be spending a lot if you want to go, because that's when everybody's on vacation. But if you can go in early June or September, beginning of September to mid September, still gorgeous weather and a lot less expensive.
Now, late September, and I bring this up because first of all, because I happen to like wine, but second of all, Spectrum Wine Auctions and Wine Storage happens to be one of our sponsors, and we want to connect the two of you. Be sure that you're connected, and so they might say, "Well, wine harvest season is September." So, in other
Absolutely.
words, people could come to Ventura. They could get a good deal on a vacation rental and take a day over to the wineries that are getting some great wines in.
Yes, they can. Absolutely can. And well, I'd love to connect with your sponsor and figure out some good deals to work for our guests that book with Sunny Days and make sure that they're taken care of. We do
Yes,
that with a
they're.
couple wineries in Temecula. Jordan Parker Winery in
Mhm.
Temecula is a great place to go, and they offer all of the Sunny Days guests 10% off your bill when you're there if you are staying at a Sunny Days rental. So good partnership with Jordan Parker Winery. Go check it out.
Yes, I will, and I'm sure maybe we can have, talk to them about being a guest on our show as well.
Absolutely.
So walk us through a perfect weekend on the Ventura Coast, and we are going to get to Palm Springs, by the way, but let's go to Ventura Coast, Friday afternoon through Sunday. What does an itinerary look like?
Tight itinerary is showing up afternoon of Friday or Thursday.
Sounds great.
I recommend Thursday.
All
Go
right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Thursday you're going to be, it's still not that busy, so you're going to have a great. First off, you're going to get there. You're going to go visit the Rip Curl store and get all your beach gear.
All right.
Everybody loves the Rip Curl store down there in Pierpont. Uh, one of several good sushi or Italian restaurants in Pierpont that you can go visit on any of those nights. But I like to get a place that has a good patio and barbecue. Go to the store, get some steaks, get some chicken, do a good barbecue, relax with my family. And that's what we're going to do Thursday and Friday. And during the day, we're going to be at the beach in the water all day long with all the good gear that we got at Rip Curl.
Girl, sure.
Surf a little bit, and then round it out with some good breakfasts. I believe they've put in a Broken Yoke in that area. If you've been to
Oh,
Broken Yoke, it's a wonderful breakfast spot. And there are several great breakfast restaurants you can walk to there in Pierpont. So yeah, that's what a weekend looks like there in Ventura. Just plenty of places to eat, to drink, to have fun with friends, sit on the porch and relax in the sunshine, go to the beach, surf a little bit, play baseball with my sons. Yeah, that's a good weekend in Ventura.
and is there a variety of inventory, like home style? Can someone, if they're just a couple, is there a place for just a 1 or 2 bedroom? Is there a place, what's the occupancy limits in Ventura? In some of our cities here, there's, you can have only 10 people in a 4-bedroom house. What does that look like in Ventura?
Yeah, they're going through a lot of the same thing that we went through in Newport. So they're figuring all that out right now. There was a moratorium on issuing any new permits. I believe they've lifted that now, and they've put a permit cap number in place, which it's still a good, decent. They've kind of followed the Newport Beach model, so it's a good permit number. And I don't know that they even have a permit cap on occupants other than two. What we always stick to is two per bedroom plus two.
Okay,
So one bedroom, you're going to have 2 to 4 people, depending on the owner's preference.
sure.
And that's really what it always comes down
That's
to, is
enough.
the owner
Of
preference. Yeah.
course. Of course. And that's enough.
Yeah. So yes,
So,
we even have a plethora of 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, up to 5 bedrooms with a pool. So enough for everybody to get what they need to get. And if you don't see it in our inventory, you're going to find it on VRBO, and stay in a great place either way. I
and
feel like Ventura is a lot like Newport, where everybody's done a really good job of making their vacation rental very nice, very upscale, very clean.
so let me ask a question. In that in that area, do you see a lot of pools? I mean, it's not Palm Springs, and
No,
it's not even Anaheim Disneyland area, because when you're close to the beach, a lot of the way the homes were built or configured on the lots, like in Newport, or even San Clemente, you just don't see a lot of pools. So
no,
what about Ventura?
yeah, it's true. It's really the same. Certainly that Pierpont area, you're not going to see any pools, but on the other side of the freeway, it's more residential, with yards, and there are pools. They don't do as well. And they don't do as well because the demographic of people coming is different. When people come to Ventura, Newport, Mission Beach, any of those, the house doesn't matter quite as much in the yard, because they're going to the beach.
Yes,
Completely opposite from Palm Springs and Temecula.
yes,
Palm
yes,
Springs and Temecula, they're going for the house. They're
yes.
going to be they're going to be sitting around the pool. Temecula, they're going to go to the wineries, but they're going to come back and enjoy the pool, the jacuzzi, the people they came with, a lot more than the beach communities, which is focused on the beach, the restaurants, and the houses tertiary.
Yes, that's true. Now, one thing we've discovered, especially in Disneyland, and probably you could say Newport Beach, maybe, maybe not. And so I'd like to know how this works in a Ventura area. So, for example, in Disneyland, it depends. You don't have to have as much if you're close to Disneyland. But if they're far away, if they have to drive to Disneyland, you definitely need to have a pool.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
you're
yeah.
across the street from Disneyland, the pool isn't important. You could have a hot tub. I've even got some with no pool or hot tub. So
Yeah.
what about, so it sounds to me like it's kind of the same thing in Ventura?
It is. You're either down in the Pierpont area and you get rents, doesn't matter what the house is like. If you're not in that area, if you're not going to stay in that area, you're going to stay further, on the other side of the freeway. You're going to want a house with a pool, because you're not going to walk down to the Pierpont area
Right.
where the restaurants are, where the beach is, where everything is. You're going to stay at the house. You're going to want a pool, or at least a hot tub.
So then let me ask you a question about pricing. Are the homes less expensive on that side of the freeway?
Not anymore.
Is that right?
No, it's become such a hot spot for
My goodness.
real estate investors that the prices have certainly caught up to what they're doing in vacation rental business. No, I would say prices everywhere. As we're in California, the prices
Yes.
are crazy. But yes, the houses are comparable to the price. So if you have a 2 bedroom, just basic home in Pierpont, it's going to be priced to what it can do as a vacation rental. If you have a 2 bedroom basic home on the other side of the freeway, it's not going to be a very efficient vacation rental. So it's priced accordingly.
So that's where people can get deals.
Yeah, they can.
And then they can drive or bike to the beach.
Yeah.
They can do
But
that.
it's not going to book as well as something closer to the beach, of course. But then that's reflected in the price that they're paying for the property.
Certainly. But if you're the guest, it's a
Yeah,
great deal.
it can be.
Right.
Can be a really good
Right.
deal for the guests.
So what are
Absolutely.
the things other than being close to the beach? What are the things that people should look for? And then we're going to go to Palm Springs. So what are the things people should look for if they're on your site and they want to go into that area, they're interested in that area, what should they look for?
Yeah, number one is the hierarchy. When you're looking at, doesn't matter if it's Sunny Day site, Airbnb, VRBO, the hierarchy is always how close do you want to be to the beach? How important is that? That's going to be the number one thing in the hierarchy of your decision. How many people is second? So the closer you are to the beach, the more expensive it is. The further back you go from the beach, it ticks down in price. The more people you bring, the more people a house sleeps, it's going to be the higher price. So if you're coming with a couple and you're booking last minute, you're going to get a great price. You're going to book for $100 a person per night. If you're bringing 10 to 15 people and you've got to make plans a year in advance so everybody can plan their budget and their trip, you're going to be paying the highest price for a toes on the sand home, and that's fine. Those bookings and those vacations are things that everybody will remember forever. So those are well worth it. But
Certainly.
those are
And
the
you and by booking
main
ahead of time, you
hierarchies.
get the home that you want also.
That's right. Yeah, you
So
get priority.
I have to take a minute to ask, and I keep saying I'm going to go back. I'm not going to change subject, and then I do. I have to ask you. So we didn't ask, but let's do it now. Is a great time to ask. Why should people book direct with sunny days? Excuse me, sunny
Sea
days
breeze
rather
and
than
sunny days.
go
Yeah,
to a home away or an Airbnb? What everyone says, book direct, but really, what difference does it make?
absolutely. It makes a huge difference in how much you're paying. You the consumer of vacation rentals is getting smart, and they're starting to figure out that fees that VRBO and Airbnb are tacking on to these bookings are just so exorbitant. And if you go on to an Airbnb, a VRBO, find a house you like, look at who's managing it, and then go to their site, whether it's Sunny Days or anybody else, go find them directly and book direct, and you're going to save hundreds. And if the booking is, if your stay is long enough and in a big enough house, you're going to save thousands in fees that those sites are charging. So yes, booking direct is the number one most important tip we can give any person looking to take a vacation.
Well, this is going to be a big point on our episode here. We're going to be sure that we stress that. So I know people are saying, I know that sounds good, Jeff, but everybody's got to make money. So how can Airbnb and VRBO, HomeAway charge, and whoever else does this, Booking.com, whoever charge fees, and you don't? You must be making it somewhere. Is that
No,
true?
no. So we charge the same, the Sunny Days rent. You get charged four things when you book with Sunny Days. You get
All right,
charged
tell us
the base rent, the cleaning fee, the TOT tax, which we have to collect for the city,
for the city.
and we require an insurance policy, anywhere from $59 to $99, depending on the length of stay and the property.
And that's for damage waiver, correct?
That's a damage waiver. Yeah. This took over from people used to charge $1,000 or $2,000 refundable security deposits. And it caused fights with every guest that came because they say something was broken when they got there. The host was saying, nope, you broke it. I'm keeping your security deposit. It was a nightmare.
Yes, it
So
was.
yeah, so these damage waivers have taken the place of security deposits. They're $50 to $100, and that covers most people for $2,000 of any accidental damage during their stay. So those four things are what we charge, period. When our prices then push to any of the listing sites, that's when the listing site tacks on their fee. So
Yes.
when you check out, you're going to see our four fees plus the Airbnb fee or the VRBO fee or wherever it is. When the money comes back to us, they've taken their fee out and they
Yes.
send the funds back that account for all of those four things. So no matter if you're booking on Airbnb or Sunny Days, you're going to pay those four things. It's just when you're booking on a third-party listing site, you're going to pay an additional fee to pay for Airbnb's service or VRBO's service. I don't want to single out Airbnb.
No, we don't want to.
Any site's service, they need to make money, but you don't have to pay them money. You don't have to pay them money by not going to their site. Go directly to the Sunny Day site and you skip that fee, saves hundreds of dollars.
That's great to know. And our listeners and our viewers are going to love that bit of information. So let's move to the desert.
Sure.
The desert's having a major moment. It's not your grandparents' Palm Springs anymore.
No.
Jeff, what's going on out there?
Oh, there's a lot going on. Where should I start? I can talk about the reality of vacation rentals. I think that'd probably be a good place to start, just to understand what's happening in the market there. All affected.
I think that's a good idea, but I just want to tell our viewers and our listeners that Jeff's going to be back again because we have too much to talk about in just one episode for everything that Sunny Days does. So we'll have another section, another episode on each of these places. But go ahead and tell us.
Definitely. So Palm Springs has always been a vacation rental destination.
Yes.
Since it was started. Obviously, that took a big bump up with the advent of VRBO, home away first, then VRBO, and then came Airbnb, and that just sent everything through the moon. So that was 2012 to 2018, 2019. Everything grew, and Palm Springs went through the same regulation fight that everywhere else did, and their solution was different from anywhere else I've seen, and it was to cap the amount of bookings any one house can take per year. And so so take it back, they decided that, and then COVID hit. So they did not put a permit cap in. They put some density caps per neighborhood, but didn't put a full permit cap in. So COVID hit and everybody was going to Palm Springs. Everybody was going everywhere. Vacation rentals had their best years in 2021, yes, 2022.
Did interestingly, yes.
So everybody saw this, and vacation rentals went from 1,200 in Palm Springs, 1,200 vacation rentals in 2020 to over 2,000 by the end of 2022.
Wow.
Yeah. People seeing,
huge jump.
This place can make over $100,000 a year. I don't mind paying $900,000, $1 million for it. That's fine. Well, cut to today, we're out of COVID times, and that same house is doing $60,000. Still good for what it was before COVID, but if you bought during COVID, it's not hitting the numbers that you need. So now we're seeing a sell-off. We're seeing a pretty big sell-off in Palm Springs. We're going from a couple years ago, 2,200 permits or rentals, and I think they're at 1,800 now. I think it's going to stabilize around 1,400 to 1,500. I think that's what the market can bear, and the only thing that's going to stop people from selling off is this permit cap of how many bookings you can take per year, because it really does equalize the bookings across all the properties. If everybody can take 36 bookings, everybody knows when those bookings are going to be. They're going to be February, March, and April. Certainly taking bookings during the 2 Coachella weeks, which is coming up here next weekend and the weekend after. So everything's booked for those weekends.
Of course it is.
And then it really dies off. May has a little bit of bookings. June, July, and August are dead. Nobody's going to Palm Springs when it's 120 degrees out. And September, October, November, December, it picks back up. And those are the weekends that you can really maximize those bookings. So that's the vacation rental picture in Palm Springs in a nutshell right now.
So let me ask you a question. Palm Springs is a general term.
Yeah.
Because everybody thinks that the desert is Palm Springs, but you have Palm Springs, you have Palm Desert, you have La Quinta.
Yeah.
So tell us, what is Palm Springs, and is that really where the vacation rentals are? Because I think some of those other, we'll call them subsidies, are not allowed at all. Is that correct?
That's right. So La Quinta banned them completely. I believe the same for Palm Desert. Really, it is shrunken down to Palm Springs proper. Palm Springs
Okay.
proper, and
All right.
specifically as close as you can get to the strip there is where your property is going to do the best. The further you get away from, you know, um, Gene Autry, I believe,
Yeah.
closer to the airport, it's going to do worse because then you've got the noise pollution. So there's certainly things that you want to look at. We're seeing a uptick in properties around the new surf club. So
Oh,
they put in the new surf club with the, the wave. What do they call it? Not a standing wave, but a man-made wave
yes.
out in Palm Springs, and it's getting very popular. And so I'm hoping that's going to be a new big draw for Palm Springs and bring people out at all times of year to our vacation rentals.
So what does Sunny Days offer in Palm Springs that really in that market that really stands out? How has the guest profile changed over the last decade, or has it at all? Are you because you were you when you were Seabreeze, were you in Palm Springs at all?
We had a few properties, not to the extent we are now. We're over 40 properties in Palm Springs now and growing. And no, I would not say the demographic of the guest has changed at all. It's exactly what you think it's going to be. It's bachelorette parties, bachelor parties,
I know.
a lot of those things. Certainly right now, it's just, families on vacation because it's such a, great weather there to sit around the pool and enjoy your family, get away for the 3-day weekend. And no, Palm Springs is a really nice, just quick getaway for people in LA. A lot of people coming from Arizona when it's, Palm Springs is almost the same temperature, but you've got a lot of restaurants, bars to go visit. Certainly and then back to the bachelor and bachelorette parties. Those are 50% of the bookings, I would say.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
I did not know that. So tell me then, is the majority, and is that all in one area? Do you have a problem then when you have those kind of events or parties? Do you have a problem with your guests behaving?
We don't. And it's
And how do you
because,
handle that?
yeah. So there's two things that have happened. Number one, the listing sites have done away with vetting guests, as you know. Anytime we're trying to ask questions of a guest, who's coming, what are you coming for, they've decided that if we decline a booking after asking those questions, it could be considered discrimination
Yes.
against whoever it is. So they've taken control. You can't really ask guests. You can if you're not on the Book It Now program.
Yes.
But if you're not on the Book It Now program, your listing's going to be buried. And so we are on the Book It Now program. So we
You
said,
are.
okay, absolutely, we have to be to maximize the annual revenue for our owners. We have to be on the Book It Now button. So then the problem became, how do we make sure
Yes.
that we are not having parties? Very simple. Number one, we have two things that we have put in place. Every home that we operate has to have noise aware decibel monitoring. So these are not recording devices, nothing like that. They just record the decibel level, and then we affect the decibel level for different times of day. So during the day, up to 90 decibels is fine. If they're getting over, I think, 80 to 90 decibels, then you could be disturbing the guests, and we're calling you and shutting that down. At 7 o'clock, that goes down to 70 decibels. And at 10 o'clock, it goes down to 50 allowed decibels. That has worked very, very well. We also have cameras on the parking area of every house. So if we get a noise decibel level alert, let's say it's 7:30 and they're above 70 decibels. Now, this is not just one spike that somebody yelled and was over 70 decibels. This is a ongoing level of noise that we know something is going on. We have 24/7 security. And so they're immediately going to the cameras and seeing if there are a lot of cars. Big red flag. okay, we need to get somebody over to the house and shut this down immediately. It only happens once or twice a year.
It does.
Yeah.
And then may I ask, do you have, because in some of our cities here, guests are required to sign separate reservation agreements and
Mhm.
provide photo ID. Do you have that with your guests, Jeff?
We do. So there's a great service that we've tapped into called Guest Ranger, and they vet our guests. We give them their ID because we still can ask for ID so far. We'll see when Airbnb decides to try to get
Yes.
rid of that.
Yes, I know.
But no, we can get ID. We give that to Guest Ranger. They look through all of the reviews from Airbnb, anything that they can look through, and they give us a thumbs up on the booking. And if they give that, they are backing that with their company guarantee. So
Guarantee.
yep,
Guarantee.
yep.
That's fabulous. That's fabulous. So, okay. So, for our listeners and our viewers, we know that the desert has some extreme seasons. So, when is the perfect time to go? And are there absolutely times that you have to avoid? I know it's hot in the summer, but if you're coming from Arizona anyway, what difference does it make? And are there best kept secret seasons for to avoid crowds or to get great deals?
If you're looking for the best deal, absolutely, you want to go. 4th of July, great time to go. It's a little bit more expensive than the other weeks of July or August because it is 4th of July, but because it's so hot, everything's available. You can really talk to hosts and negotiate and get a good rate because most places are not even getting booked for 4th of July. So if you want the best deal in Palm Springs, 4th of July or any other weeks of July or August.
Well, that's great to know. So now for a couple that's looking for a romantic desert escape, pools, sunset, fire pits, cocktails, what does the ideal sunny days vacation rental look like?
Oh, we have so many to choose from. But if you're talking one bedrooms, romantic spots, we have a couple of those that are, very cute, quaint, just hideaways, that have a one bedroom area, a pool, and behind the pool, a shower, and you can walk into town and go to the restaurants. So we have several of those on our Sunny Day site as well. So really good for couples in those small units.
And they can find those just by going on your site.
Yep. Just filter for area and filter for Palm Springs. And then you can filter for the one bedroom if you like, and it'll show you all the ones that we have.
All right. So now let's say that you are a family.
Sure. Same thing. You want to go by same thing you would do at the beaches that I described earlier. You want to first look at the area you want to be in. So how close to town do you want to be? How close to the center of the action do you want to be? The closer you are, the more expensive it's going to be. The more budget friendly you want, you're going to get further away, towards the airport, towards Palm Desert. But those are still great deals, and you can if you're driving to Palm Springs, you don't mind driving to go to a restaurant, you're going to find a 3 bedroom property that is half the price of one that's walking distance to the restaurants in Palm Springs.
So why do families go to Palm Springs?
Palm Springs is the weather there and the scenery is gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And you have some really, really, really nice shopping streets, world famous shopping, world famous restaurants. And the view of those mountains as the sun goes over them is just unbeatable. I would equate it to somebody going and getting a beachfront property in Newport Beach and watching the sunset. It is
Yes.
as gorgeous as that. And the weather there.
Sounds
So
sounds inviting, that's for sure.
yeah, I think you asked me before what are the best times. So obviously, you've got February, March, and April. Those are the really nice, mild weather months. It's also the busiest. It's like going to the
Yes.
beach communities during June, July, and August. It's going to be very busy. So if you're looking for, more of a live atmosphere, people everywhere, and having a good time, perfect time to go. If you're looking for the same weather, same scenery, same shopping, same restaurants, you're going to go in October, November, or December. Gorgeous weather in December and not the crowds. The crowds are gone, and you've got just a gorgeous place to visit. Stay with your family in a house that has a pool and jacuzzi. Enjoy the house. Go to a restaurant. Go take a trip of a tram up to the top of the mountain. So many good things to do in Palm Springs.
And you have what we'll call snowbirds,
Absolutely. Yep.
but do most of them come after Christmas? So can you still get a good deal in December, November, December?
You can certainly get a good deal. It's why snowbirds pick December, January, and February to go for a month, because the
Yes.
prices are not as they are in February, March, and April. They can get a month-long stay for all of December for the same price 1 week is in April. So it's a very popular destination for snowbirds for exactly that reason. It's gorgeous weather, prices aren't too bad, and so if we and not everything fills for month-long stays. Only about half of our properties fill with snowbirds, so the other half are still going to fill, but just not at the peak rates. So really good time to go and get a deal is December or even January, and gorgeous weather too.
So let me ask you a question for people who want to go in January, February. Is there plenty of places for them to go? Or are they pretty much all taken up by the snowbirds who come for a month?
No, not at all. Like I said, only about half, maybe half of our properties are taken up by snowbirds. There's still plenty of occupancy to be had in those areas.
That's great to know. And this has been great, Jeff. I am so glad that you're with us. I'm so glad that our paths crossed recently and that this opportunity came for us to be, for you to be on SoCal with Val. We certainly hope you will come back again. We have so much still to tell our viewers and our listeners, and this is what our show is about, is providing opportunities and showing them off the path things that otherwise they may not know about. Certainly a lot of people know about vacation rentals and Palm Springs, but not to the extent that you're going to help them learn and find out all of the tricks. So we thank you so much for being here. It's been really fun. I've learned some things today. We're going to spend some more time together talking about how we can bring more to our viewers and our listeners. I just want to ask you one question before we let you go
Please.
and before we end our time together today. What are the biggest mistakes people make? And if you could help people have a better experience choosing and renting a vacation rental, what would that be?
Yeah, I think the biggest mistakes people make is booking a house without thoroughly looking at everything that they're booking, specifically location. One of the
Really?
biggest complaints that we get when people arrive is not understanding the location that they're in based on what is the place to be for that town that they're going to. Perfect example is Newport Beach. We have
Yeah.
some properties that are outside of the peninsula, and I mean, half of the people that book it think that they're going to be walking to all the restaurants and doing all the fun
Oh,
things of being on the peninsula, but didn't
oh,
understand that they're going to have to drive to the peninsula. So
oh.
really understand where you're going to be going to restaurants, where you're going to be shopping, where you're going to be hanging out during the day, and try to make sure you're booking a place that is either walking distance to that, or if you're going to be driving, know that you're going to be driving and make that conscious decision.
Yes, and those of us who live on the peninsula know now where all those cars are coming from.
That's right.
All coming from Sunny Days Vacation Rental guests, and we're glad to have them. Thank you, Jeff Bosson, so very much. We wish you such good luck in your
Thank
new
you.
venture. We're so glad to be a part of it and have you as our guest today, and we certainly hope you'll come back again.
Oh, I
I'm
look forward
Valerie
to
Van
it.
De Zilver. Welcome to our audience to SoCal with Val, and come back again next Friday afternoon for another episode of fun and where you can go and spend your great time here in Southern California.
Thank you again.